If you take away our brains and our tools, we're actually at the bottom of the food chain. Pull up a chair and let's talk about the ghost in the darkness, the lions of Tsavo. Today we're headed to Kenya in what would become Tsavo National Park. It's March of 1898 and Britain has really big plans for the area. They intend to connect Kenya and Uganda through the savannah via railroad. This area is home to hundreds of large animal species like giraffes, elephants, and lions. During the time period in which this story starts, the area had been experiencing a terrible drought. At the same time, the cattle and buffalo populations in this part of Africa were experiencing a catastrophic outbreak of rinderpest, which is a highly contagious disease brought to Africa from India in the early 1880s. Even though we would come to understand that this was a pretty bad time to be building a railroad through the African savannah, the British were determined to get their railroad. Crews began work in late 1897, and by March of 1898, they were already to the Tsavo River. The crew's leader, Lieutenant Colonel John Henry Patterson, began hearing reports of men going missing at night. But each site where someone had disappeared carried the same features: drag marks, blood trails, paw prints. Patterson knew the print of an adult male lion when he saw one. And what's more, he realized there were more than one. According to Patterson, between March and December, the lions would take between 1 and 2 men every couple of days. Most often, the remains would be found not far away, partially consumed. The railway workers had to listen to their comrades die screaming every time the lions came to pay them a visit. Armed patrols, extra security, sleeping two at a time, none of that mattered. And for nearly a year, every sunset brought the same question: who would still be there at dawn? The men now referring to the lions as the ghost and the darkness. Under pressure from the railway company, Patterson turns from engineer to hunter. By this time, over 100 men had already been taken by these two lions. Patterson writes that he feels their loss keenly, as if he himself was responsible for their deaths. He resolves that he is going to stop them no matter what. Patterson hastily builds a couple of blinds in the middle of camp. On December 9th, the lions take the bait. After several shots, he manages to bring one of them down. The second lion escapes, and for another 20 days, it would circle the camp looking for victims. Patterson would spend the next couple of weeks trying and failing over and over again to take down the last lion. Until finally, on the 29th of December, he manages to lure the animal beneath one of his platforms and takes it down. Years later, Patterson would sell the lion's remains to the Chicago Field Museum, where you can still see them today. If you want to know why these two lions started attacking humans instead of their normal prey, you will be interested to know that, including the environmental stressors we discussed at the beginning of this video, the lions were also injured. Advanced gum disease in one and an abscessed tooth in another, which would have made hunting prey very difficult. With rinderpest and famine affecting the region, they really didn't have very many options for food, so they turned to the one that was easiest to catch.